fund is just a convenient way of holding a large number of securities. So for an equity fund, you can hold lots of equities inside. For a bond fund, you can hold lots of different bonds inside. So I see it a bit like an envelope. It's much easier to carry an envelope full of coins around than it is to carry lots of individual coins. So it's primarily about convenience. By using a fund, you also don't have to worry about which shares to pick or which bonds to pick. You get them all wrapped up in one go. That way, funds become more convenient building blocks to put together your portfolio with the different ingredients that make up the asset allocation that you want to meet your objectives. The main types of fund are either single asset funds or multi-asset funds. Single asset funds reflect the different asset classes available to investors. So UK equities, US equities, UK corporate bonds, gilts, property securities, etc. They're effectively the different ingredients you want to put together when you're building a portfolio. Other funds are what's called multi-asset funds, and they are almost like a ready-to-made portfolio all in one go. So whether you want to put together your own portfolio or use a ready-made portfolio determines whether you use single asset funds or multi-asset funds, or perhaps a combination of the two. Secondly, it's about how that fund is actually managed. So for single asset funds, they are either typically actively managed or passively managed. Actively managed means the manager is trying to beat the benchmark for that particular asset class. So for UK equities, the manager is trying to beat the FTSE 100 or the FTSE All Share. A passive fund is where the manager is trying to track that benchmark and track it really efficiently, and that way you're getting the right exposure, but you're not trying to beat the benchmark. When we look at the fund structures, there are four main types available to retail investors, and I'll list them in age order. First of all, since the 19th century, we've had investment trusts. These are collective investment schemes, but are listed on the stock exchange, so you can buy and sell them like a share. And they are probably most permissive in what they can have inside them. So you can have not only listed shares and bonds, but you can have any other asset that can be included. They also have the ability to borrow money as well. Next up, we have authorised unit trusts and OICs, open-end investment companies. They're different legal structures, but come under the same regulatory regime. And those funds are typically single asset class, but more importantly, you can only buy or sell units from the fund issuer. You can't go and sell them on the open market like you can with an investment trust. And that way, they deal daily, but you'll always be able to sell it or buy it from the issuer of the fund. The most recent fund format is the exchange-traded fund, which is, again, a collective investment scheme, but listed on the stock exchange, so it trades like a share. And that way, it's not just about the buying or selling units from the issuer, you actually can buy or sell the units amongst other market participants, which means if you want to change your position, there's a broader market to be able to do so. Now, investment trusts and exchange-traded funds price continuously throughout the day, so there's price every second while the stock market's open. Authorised unit trusts and OICs price once a day, and because you only can deal once a day. Those are the main difference between exchange-listed funds like investment trusts and exchange-traded funds and traditional OICs and unit trusts.